Domestic violence is a devastating reality for many individuals and families around the world. These tragic cases stark reminders of the dangers of abusive relationships and the devastating impact they can have on those involved. In May 2019, Jennifer Dulos, a mother of 5 and successful writer, vanished from her home in New Canaan, Connecticut. Her disappearance set off a massive search effort and a months-long investigation, and just when they thought all stones were turned, the unspeakable details of the crime were soon revealed. In this video, we'll take a closer look at the case of Jennifer Dulos, examining the events leading up to her disappearance, the search for her, and the investigation that followed. We'll explore the evidence that was uncovered, the suspects who were charged, and the tragic outcome of this heartbreaking case. Before we start, give this video a thumbs up for me, family. I still love you if you don't. Now, let's get started. On May 24, 2019, a quiet neighborhood in New Canaan, Connecticut was rocked by a devastating crime. Jennifer Dulos, a beloved mother of 5, disappeared without a trace, leaving behind a family and a community in shock. Jennifer was known in her community as a kind and generous person. She was a successful writer and a graduate of Brown University, where she majored in English and creative writing. After college, Jennifer worked in publishing before turning to freelance writing, where she found great success. Her work was featured in many prestigious publications, and she even authored several books. Jennifer's friends and family recall her as a loving mother who always put her children first. In her spare time, she volunteered at her children's school and was an active member of her community. According to court documents and interviews with people close to the couple, Fotis Dulos, Jennifer's husband, had a controlling personality and was often confrontational with Jennifer. He frequently pressured her to conform to his expectations and was known to be extremely jealous. Jennifer had confided in friends and family about the difficulties in her marriage and had filed for divorce in 2017, citing her husband's infidelity and controlling behavior. The divorce proceedings were contentious and involved disputes over custody of their children, financial assets, property. As the divorce proceedings continued, Fotis became increasingly erratic and unstable. He reportedly made several threats towards Jennifer and her family, which led to her seeking a restraining order against her. Fotis' behavior was so concerning that Jennifer had even moved out of their family home and rented a separate property with her children. Despite the turmoil in their marriage, Jennifer remained focused on her writing career and her children. She had recently signed a lucrative book deal and was in the process of completing her manuscript. Jennifer was also actively involved in her children's home, often volunteering at their school and attending their extracurricular activities. Fotis struggled with his business ventures and was facing mountains of financial pressure. He had invested heavily in a luxury real estate development in Avon, Connecticut, which had failed to generate the expected returns. Fotis was also dealing with legal challenges related to his business dealings and was facing mounting debt. As his financial troubles mounted, Fotis became increasingly desperate and agitated. He was known to make grandiose statements about his business acumen and his success, despite having evidence to the contrary. In the days leading up to Jennifer's disappearance, she had been living in a rented home with her children, as her divorce from Fotis was still pending. According to friends, Jennifer was excited about starting a new chapter in her life and was looking forward to moving on from her troubled marriage. On the night of her disappearance, Jennifer had dropped her children off at school and returned to her rented home. She had planned to attend a doctor's appointment that day but never arrived. When her children were not picked up from school that afternoon, friends and family grew concerned and contacted the police. Investigators soon discovered a chilling scene at Jennifer's home. Bloodstains and evidence of a violent struggle suggested that Jennifer had been the victim of foul play. Her car was found abandoned in a nearby park, with traces of blood and evidence of an attempted cleanup. Fotis Dulos and his girlfriend, Michelle Chalkiness, were quickly identified as suspects in Jennifer's disappearance. According to police, the couple had been spotted on security footage driving along Hartford Avenue in Hartford, stopping at various spots to dispose of trash bags. Inside the bags, investigators found items with Jennifer's blood on them, including clothing and sponges. Fotis Dulos was arrested and charged with murder, felony murder, and kidnapping. Michelle Chalkiness was charged with conspiracy to commit murder. The investigation continued for months as authorities searched for Jennifer's body. Since Fotis pleaded not guilty, he refused to show authorities where Jennifer was located. After all, in his mind, he still had to go along with his original story of not hearing from his wife. Finally, in January 2020, human remains were found on a property in Avon, Connecticut that was previously owned by Fotis Dulos. DNA tests confirmed that the remains belonged to Jennifer. Fotis Dulos denied any involvement in Jennifer's disappearance and maintained his innocence until his death in January 2020. In the days leading up to his death, Fotis attempted suicide and was found unresponsive in his garage. He was rushed to the hospital with carbon monoxide poisoning and doctors did everything they could to bring him back, properly receiving the justice the people thought he deserved, which was life in prison. And many wanted the death penalty. But even with this hope and effort, Fotis' body proceeded to fail from the poison, and he died 2 days later in the hospital, granting his own darkest wish. The case of Jennifer Dulos highlights the devastating impact that domestic violence can have on families and communities. Our memory is due her children and to the Jennifer Dulos Memorial Fund, which supports causes that were important to her. May she rest in peace, and may her legacy inspire us to work towards a world where everyone feels safe and valued. The case of Jennifer Dulos serves as a stark reminder of the devastating impact that domestic violence can have on individuals, families, and communities. As we've seen in this video, the search for Jennifer and the subsequent investigation into her disappearance involved countless law enforcement officials, forensic experts, and community members who were committed to bringing her justice. While the outcome of this case is tragic, Jennifer's legacy stays bright through the love and memories of her family and friends. It also serves as a call to action for all of us to remain vigilant in our efforts to prevent domestic violence, to support survivors, and to ensure that justice is served for those who have been impacted by this insidious crime. Thank you for joining us as we've explored the case of Jennifer Dulos. We hope that this video has provided insight, understanding into this heartbreaking case, and that it inspires all of us to continue working towards a safer, more just world. Please consider liking and subscribing. I'll see you next video.